Okay, in this math review video, we're going to take a look at how to add and subtract fractions. So, remember what we talked about in class. When you're adding or subtracting fractions, the first question that you want to ask yourself is, are the denominators the same? So if we take a look at this first problem, 3/7 plus 2/7, are the denominators the same? Yes, they are. If the denominators are the same, you just keep the denominator the same. So I'm going to put 7 as the answer of my denominator and add the numerators. 3 plus 2 is 5. And 5/7 is in simplest form, meaning it cannot be reduced, so that is your final answer. If the denominators are the same, simply add the numerators and keep the denominator the same. Don't add the denominators. Don't say 7 plus 7. Okay, now let's take a look at the second problem. 2/10 plus 1/2. Let's ask ourselves the question, are the denominators the same? No, they're not the same. 10 is not the same as 2. So what do we do if the denominators aren't the same? 4 words, make them the same. And we're going to make them the same by finding equivalent fractions. And what we want to do is we want to find what's the least common denominator. Remember, we used to call it the least common multiple. What's the smallest number that both 10 and 2 will go into? And if you're not sure, remember, you can do this. You can count by 10s and count by 2s. So if I start down here, start counting by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, and I start up here, 10, there we go. There's my answer. The smallest number in both rows, that's your least common denominator. So 10 is going to be my least common denominator, and I can put that as my denominator. So up here, I'm really not changing my fraction. I'm just going to rewrite it. Down here, my equivalent fraction, 2 times what is 10? 2 times 5 is 10. And if I do that to the denominator, I have to do the same thing to the numerator to balance it out. 1 times 5 is 5. So now I ask myself again, are the denominators the same? Yes, they are. So now I can add it. I'm going to keep the denominator the same and add the numerators. 2 plus 5 is 7. And 7/10 is in simplest form, so that is our final answer. Let's take a look at another one. 1/3 plus 4/5. Are the denominators the same? Nope, they're not, so we have to do what? Make them the same. And remember, kind of a shortcut is, will one of the denominators go into the other one? No, it won't. So unfortunately, I can't do it that way. If we go back here, on this previous problem, did 2 go into 10? 2 does go into 10, so 10 would be your least common denominator. But on this problem, I don't have that shortcut to use. 3 doesn't go into 5, so I can't use that. So again, what do you think is going to be the least common denominator? If I counted by 3s and counted by 5s, what's the first number that's going to be in both rows? Remember, the goal is hopefully you're going to be able to see it. But if not, you write it down. Let's count by 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Let's see. 5, 10, 15. There we go. There's the first number in both rows. So 15 is going to be my least common denominator. What are we multiplying by here? Times 5 times 5. 5/15. 5 times 3. 4 times 3 gives me 12. Now let's take a look. Now my denominators, yep, they're the same. So I'll keep it the same and add the numerators. 5 plus 12 is 17, but this is an improper fraction. It's not in simplest form. We have to simplify it. And we do that by saying, how many times does 15 go into 17? 1 time, with how many left over? 2 left over, and the denominator stays the same. Okay, so that's our answer. This one here, are the denominators the same? No, they're not. Now, this is a mixed number, but we do the mixed number exactly the same way. We're just going to kind of carry the mixed number over. We're going to rewrite that, but we're just going to do the exact same thing that we would do with the other fractions, and then when you're done, you will add or subtract the whole numbers along with the fractions. So, 6 and 5, what would be our least common denominator? If we wrote it out, 6's and 5's, we would find out that 30 would be our least common denominator. Because if we counted by 6's, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. If we counted by 5's, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 is the smallest number in both rows. So up here, 6 times 5 is 30. Got to do the same thing to the numerator, which would give us 10. Down here, 5 times 6 is 30. Got to do it to the numerator. Here we go. Now my denominators are the same. So 10 minus 6 is 4, and our denominator stays the same. And then I do the whole numbers. 4 minus 1 is 3. And would this be my answer? Not yet, because this fraction is reducible. These numbers can both be divided by what? They're both even, which means they can both be divided by 2. So my answer would be 3. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15. So there is my reduced answer. And the last part is, what happens if you have to borrow? Well, let's go ahead and ask ourselves on this question. 6 and 3, and my denominators aren't the same, so let's make them the same. We're going to carry over our whole numbers. And let's try, will 3 go into 6? Ooh, it will. So that can be my denominator. Remember, if one of the denominators will go into the other one, that bigger number will be your least common denominator. So 3 times what is 6? 3 times 2. Got to do the same thing to the numerator. So now my denominators are the same. But, if I've got a subtraction problem, 1 minus 4, I can't do 1 minus 4, which means I'm going to need to borrow. I'm going to need to borrow 1 from the 6. So the 6 will actually become a 5. So it's now going to be a 5. And really, the 1 that I'm going to borrow that, but I need to write it as 6. So really, here's kind of the 1 that I'm going to borrow. I'm going to make it 6 sixths. But I already have 1 6th. So the 6 sixths plus the 1 6th would be 7 sixths. And remember the shortcut that you can do. When you have to borrow, go down by 1. So 6 minus 1 is 5. And then just take denominator plus the numerator. 6 plus 1 is 7. Leave the denominator the same. The bottom number, we're just going to rewrite. And now I've got a good problem. Cool. Denominators are the same, so I'll just make that the same. 7 minus 4 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. And is this my answer? Not yet, because these are both reducible. 3 and 6 are both divisible by 3. This would be 2 and 1/2. So that is how you add and subtract fractions.